Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. And hey everybody, happy MLK Day. Welcome back to Not Worth the Time. I hope you didn't waste your time on MLK Day and took this day to reflect on the great teachings of Martin Luther King, the Reverend. And if you didn't, I think you're missing the point of having this holiday off, if you had it off. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you had to go into work. Maybe you guys didn't earn it, okay? You haven't been showing the teachings and living the teachings of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And maybe that's why you don't have the day off, because you aren't representing it right, you know? But that's why the podcast is late, guys, is because I didn't want to step on this day. It's about him and about unity and coming together and celebrating his great achievements. And that's what this day is about. And that's why the podcast is late. Is it really, Wade? Is it late because you have respect for Martin Luther King? Or is it late because you're a lazy piece of shit? You caught me. You caught me. Yeah, I'm going to phone this one in probably a little bit. I'm watching the fucking Tampa Bay Cowboys game right now, okay? Dallas, Tampa Bay right now. That game's about to start. They're showing some stuff going on. We're just going to check this game out while it happens, you know. It'll be a good time. But I won't probably comment on the game too much. It's fine, you know. I hope everybody's having a great start to their 2023. You know, I last episode was the second day of it, you know. I was on time with that one, wasn't I? Ready to just start the new year right with you. It's been an interesting year so far, you guys. I hope you're all sticking to it, getting after it. You know, that's what's funny about the NFL is everybody every year talks about New Year's. It's a new reset to the whole year. Everybody's got new things. Yet we carry over the records to the NFL season into the new into the new year. Like, hey, if we're gonna have playoffs, you got to talk about last year. No, we don't. It's a new year. You restart everything. These are all new teams. They aren't letting anything go. You know. Yeah, it's already been a crazy year so far. Guys, one thing I need to report on, if you've been on my Instagram account, you probably saw this, where I posted a picture of a car that had completely burned itself alive. Yeah, I made the joke about what happens, how you need to have aux cord safety training in order to plug in and play some fire beats. Otherwise, things like this could happen. That was the joke I made. But, most of the photos I have on my account that aren't of me, most people probably think they're Googled search images, and I find that stuff, which they are. That one was real. That was in the parking lot of my apartment. Somebody had a crazy fire. I was at my girlfriend's house. She drove me over here so I could pick something up. And then as soon as we pull in, fire trucks everywhere. It smelled like burning plastic when we got in here. You forget that most vehicles nowadays, most of it's plastic. Any of your exterior parts are damn near all plastic. Like your bumpers, your goddamn car door, the little decals, your spoilers. Nothing's metal anymore. So that shit just burns. It was wild. There was nothing left of the back end of this trunk of this car, you guys. The inside of it was completely torched as well. Just the tires had been melted off. It was an inferno. Luckily, I didn't see it. I wasn't there when the whole shebang was going down. I just saw the aftermath, and whatever started that fire was crazy. But that was the first week of 2023. Yeah, car fire in the apartment complex. And then this week, I'm just having an apartment disaster kind of month already, you guys. The alarm in my building went off. And not like the fire alarm where you need to exit. I thought there was another fire happening. I was like, wait, first a car and now somebody's oven? What the fuck's going on? This place is going to go to hell in a handbasket, you know? It was just an alarm beeping in the hallway. Obsessively, and there was a silent alarm button, and I clicked it. I called somebody first. I was very tempted to click. I almost took matters into my own hands and hit the silent alarm button, but I realized doing that might cause a problem, and I didn't want anybody to die because I was annoyed by a beeping outside of my apartment. It was on the other side of the wall. It's right next to mine, so I just heard this incessant beeping the whole time. So I call. The guy's like, hey, try hitting the silence alarm button. I'm like, okay. So I did. Nothing. It was like that for 48 hours. I had to leave. I couldn't stay here. It was nuts. You know, this is my woe is me stories. On MLK Day, let me talk about my struggles as a person who pays way too much for a studio apartment in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. Let me tell you about my struggles. On MLK Day, we should all just share our struggles, Here I was at the beginning of this podcast lecturing you guys, and look at me, just abusing my privilege. It's a goddamn shame. Let me tell you. I don't know. I just hope you guys are having a good 2023. Everybody should be trying to make their lives better. That's what we're all trying to do. I know I went over my 2022 goals that I set for myself, and I write them down. I do. I put them up there. I look at them every day, trying to make sure I'm like, okay, I got to accomplish these goals. So I'm making steps to, do them. And I failed a lot of these. Let me count how many goals I had this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 goals. Now, how many did I actually accomplish? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 12. I'm 1 for 3, okay? I'm playing baseball like I've done my entire life with everything. I just play baseball numbers. If I can hit 300, if I can bat 333, that's Hall of Fame numbers. I failed a lot of goals. And that's a thing you need to do to reflect on it. And it helps me know, okay, I was trying to do these things last year and I failed at them. And I can't blame anybody for that. I got to take fucking responsibility for it. So I hope you're taking responsibility for your actions on why shit didn't get done. You can only control what you can control. This is such a weird, random podcast already. I am all over the fucking place. What's new, though, right? Oh, man, I just went from dogging on it's because I felt like a dumbass for complaining about the alarm and the car thing. And I was like, oh man, you're doing this on MLK's birthday, dude. You're such a piece of shit. And I'm like, damn, you're right, Wade. Maybe I should try to inspire people instead of just bitching. And then I did that. And then I felt really phony and fake, you guys. Ugh. I hate it. Ugh. I don't know, man. I'm just rambling at this point trying to get you guys a decent podcast. It's entertaining or whatever. At least this is probably keeping your attention, I'm assuming, because it's all over the place. Maybe I should just jump into something we all love for me to do. And that is the random word generator. So I'm going to jump into that. This will be the first one I've done this year. I haven't done the random word generator, right? We all know the rules. 3 words randomly generated, and I'm just going to riff off of them. And this week, the 3 random words are border, night, and duck. I'm telling you what. I bet you... you ever watch those videos of Navy SEALs storming a beach? The one you guys know the ones. The ones where they're like wearing all... I always wonder how the face paint stays on. They have waterproof face paint as they come up on those borders of those shores, And they're just still camoed out, even after being in the water for who knows how long. I mean, they definitely have oxygen tanks and stuff like that to swim up ashore, but it's a lot. And you're always coming in at night, which has to be terrifying. Being dropped off as a SEAL into the ocean at night, swimming up, it's got to be pitch black. Also, trying to see your other Navy SEALs comrades around you, trying to make sure you're keeping up with them in the dark ocean. Ooh, that's terrifying. What a fucking thing. And then you just got to duck the whole entire way going up. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see if I can find a video of what I'm talking about. I think you guys know the old school Navy commercials. Navy SEALs commercial. Yeah, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. This was like when the 90s, when they would just make you look cool as shit storming beaches. Oh, here it is right here, guys. I got it. Oh, god damn it. Turn off that fucking ad. You don't get a fucking ad. Get out of here, ad. Here it is, dude. Nighttime covered. Oh no, the moon went away. It was covered by clouds. But it was their whole plan is to be covered by that. And now Mother Nature covers their tracks as they come in to seal the deal and kill Osama bin Laden. Navy/seals.com. See, that wasn't actually a very good thing for that one. It wasn't. You guys didn't even see that one. I kind of fucked up. Don't worry, it'll be in the post. I will have it in the post. Oh man, yeah, there's got to be one more. There's got to be a good one. That for sure has the Navy SEAL commercials storming the beach. Like that one was not as good as I wanted. The footprint. Here we go. The recruiting ad. This is what we're after, guys. SEAL WWC. Damn, dude. Propaganda for the Navy SEALs ruled back in the day. Oh shit, they're storming in. See, look at them coming in through the water, dude. Do those guns work underwater? That's a good question. I don't know. Contact your SEAL mentor today. That's a way better mentor than the Boys and Girls Club members. Let me tell you guys. Oh man, that what a see random word generator saves me again. And you believe that? Just duck and cover, right? Coming in under the night, trying to steal everything from everybody. It's a good time, dude. What a time. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead, guys. We're going to hop into the thing I found this week. Because part of my goals this year has been to read more. And I know what you're thinking, oh, great, Wade's going to become pretentious. I wish it was that cool. I'm reading fantasy novels, you guys. I'm not even reading anything that's helping me grow as a person. I would rather find a different form of escapism than look inward and defeat the horribleness that's inside my own head. You know, that's where I'm at, you know. I am trying to be better and buy used books, though. Trying to go to used bookstores. They're more fun, I think. You can find out, and find out if it's good or not, you know. I feel like if it's a brand new book and it just doesn't have nobody read that book. You find one that's a little tattered, a little too much of it, like a couple pages might be kind of like falling out loosely style. You're like, that must have been a fucking page turner, bud. They were ripping out pages trying to get through it, you know. That's how you have to find it. But this is the thing that bothers me. Is everybody is trying to be so cleanly nowadays that I found this article that said why you should always put your books in the freezer before reading it. You have to put knowledge on ice. Yeah, don't burn those books, but put them on ice, you guys. That's how you're going to decontaminate them. Heat destroys them, but if you freeze them, you also kill anything you want, okay? Well, let's find out what you have to do. Much like shopping for secondhand clothes, buying old books at stoop sales online or used bookstores brings its own brand of excitement. There are thrills that happen upon a book that you have been wanting to read and letting spontaneously take over, choosing whatever calls to you. Plus, it doesn't hurt that it saves money and is perfectly readable tone from ending up in a landfill. The one thing you might have contained with removing the dust and dirt and grime that is built up in the cover and between the pages of an old book. Fortunately, learning how to clean old books is easier than removing the inscription left from the previous reader. Oh, dude, I like, honestly, that's a fucking fun find. If you can find a used book with notes in it, in the graffiti from the other person, that's gold. You get to... It's like getting two different types of books. You get to read the normal text that you want, and then plus you get to find out what they thought was an important information. And it's so funny to compare your thought process to other people's. To sit there and read this and be like, huh, What do you know? This person didn't know this, and they thought it was they thought it was super important that they highlight this. What a dumbass! Like, you get to feel superior sometimes. Also, you get to feel inferior because they recognized and understood something that you were like, I'm glad they pointed that out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have noticed the connection between those two. They just start making dots and stuff. What's really fun is if you can find a book where a conspiracy theorist has held it and has notes in it. Mwah. That's just entertainment for years. You can flip back through that to a random page and find the random scribblings of a madman trying to connect dots that don't exist. Don't get rid of the inscriptions in your books, people. Take more notes. Write random things. Honestly, before you take your books to a secondhand store, you should absolutely put some kind of graffiti in there. Just on random pages. Just on page 69, just write nice after 69 on all, on all your books you donate. And on 420, just write blaze it. Just stupid little things like that. It hurts nobody, and it's funny. Somebody's going to get a kick out of that. It's like old school internet shit posting for used books. Or on page 123, just put where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war. It's never any. You can do fun little things like that, dude. Just write graffiti in books, guys, when you turn them in. You don't have to do anything crazy. Doesn't have to be over the top. Just one little thing, because then they'll keep the book. If you do the little ones, they'll keep it in. When you go over the top and try to write notes on every page, maybe then they're not going to take it. Maybe they'll get rid of it. But just little itty bitty ones, that's a fun time. Okay, let's learn how to clean old books, because I guess nobody wants to have a buildup or immunity to diseases, you know. This is why we have no antibodies for anything. At least that's why my first thought is, even though I'm not a doctor. I don't know shit. How to clean old books and get rid of dust and grime. To remove dust and grime, the best advice is to use a paper towel, said Jennifer Fries, a manager of the Glory Pottery Bookshop in Boston. Oh, so she said, to remove dust and dirt or grime, my best advice is to use a paper towel. Alternatively, you can opt into using a microfiber cloth or to dust off the book. This method should work when you clean an old paperback or hardbound book. Wipe down the whole book, cover to cover, being used with the cleaning book. There are stubborn smudges and stains on the cover. Wet a paper towel or a microfiber with a little bit of water and revisit those bits. Bear in mind that the book, particularly is old, it can be fragile. Any attempt to fix past wrongs may end up damaging the book even more. Okay, let's see here. Oh, here are the cleaning materials. Oh, eco-friendly paper towels. I can't, that's got to be expensive. Microfiber towels. In my opinion, for the environment's sake, maybe you should go with a microfiber towel. You can reuse them. They're rewashable. They're great things to just have around the house, I would say. Absorb book and document cleaner. They make book and document cleaners. Maybe they should run old Huck Finn through that, and it'll clean up the language a little bit. How to disinfect a used book. A good thorough clean can makes an old book new again. But if it's mold, mildew, insects have taken residence in the book, you'll have to disinfect it. If not, you might want to disinfect the book. For your own peace of mind. The difference between cleaning and disinfecting. Indeed, there is a difference between the two. Between cleaning and disinfecting, says Karen Hoffman, RN. Immediate, a past president of the Association Professional of Infection Control and Epidemiology. Jesus Christ. Cleaning removes dirt from surfaces while disinfecting kills germs. It's also important to note that if you want to disinfect an old book or any object for that matter, you always want to start with clean surface. Disinfect does not work if there are visibly dirty surface. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. The best way to disinfect an old book. To disinfect an old book, you can you can probably get away with using disinfectant like 70% rubbing alcohol, says Jason Turrow, a microbiologist and author of the Germ Files. I wonder if if he wrote a book called Germ Files, he should probably. Is that the filthiest book of all time? It's dirtier than any romantic novel your mom reads. The Germ Files. That is a filthy book. It's fucking dirty, you guys. It's a dirty, dirty book. Honestly, I know people who are really into romance novels. Those you got to disinfect for sure. Somebody's flicking a bean and rubbing one out to those romance novel guys. It's not their fault. That's what they're meant to do. But those pages are sticky. Okay, you go get ready to turn the pages to that, and you lift your hand up. You gotta thumb through those pretty fast if you're gonna keep up with the story. It's not like watching a video where you can do it hands free. Alexa, at least now, when you watch a video, you can tell it to pause or rewind and stuff. Like, you can't do that with a book. Unless people are probably listening to audiobooks of erotic fiction now, right? Like, that's got to be a thing. There's probably some dude dudes and women, there's probably just a whole community making so much money having sexy voices reading romantic novels. Just getting people to bust while they're just whispering this whole dialogue about some shirtless lighthouse keeper just ravishing this woman who just became a woman. She's just of age, and she's just been going to this lighthouse and hanging out with this man. I don't know what happens in romantic novels, but I'm sure there's one exactly what I'm talking about. And they just have some dude and some woman sensually reading this, and people are just listening to it at work, just fucking creaming in their pants, just dripping on company chairs. It's probably happened. You should definitely watch romantic novel books. That's all I'm saying, If you don't want to apply rubbing alcohol to book covers, you can use mild soap and water as an alternative. A mild soap will kill a majority of the microisms or whatever, says Turo. If you want more oomph, then you can use ultraviolet light, he says. By adding the sun is the best disinfectant. Yeah, you can use the sun for a lot of things. It's the best. It also naturally bleaches your clothes, so if you want to whiten up a clothes, it's the best. My grandma had an all-white Christmas tree, and every summer she would just put it out on the fucking deck for like a week when it was not going to rain, and that thing would just naturally get whiter because of the sun. It's fucking sick, dude. Natural ways to do stuff is the best way to do stuff. Other disinfectants are recorded time. You can also just use a book that's let a book sit, because the majority of the microorganisms can't live without food or water for a long period of time, he says. If you just leave the book very, very dry and leave it very, very, very dry for weeks, you can reduce the probability by 99.9% of the problem. Make sure you disinfect your hands too, whether you're disinfecting a book for this specific reason or just because. Turo says the greatest risk is going to happen to you from the book isn't from the book itself. It's indirect contact that transfers from your hands. If you find yourself in a situation where you're unsure if the microbiology qualifies as a book, unsure about the microbiology quality of a book, you always have to have a measure to keep yourself safe, he says. Oh my God. You know where the dirtiest books in the world are? Elementary schools. I just thought, dude, the librarian for elementary school must have the immune system built of a god. You just those kids with their sticky fingers touching all those books and returning them and wiping boogers in them, and oh my God, they're all checking out the same one all the time, so you just know it's just at home getting ravaged. Oh my God, dude. I bet you that an elementary school librarian has the best immune system in the world. If we can steal some of her micro gut biome and give it to everybody in the world, and nobody would get sick anymore. I'm 100% I'm pretty positive on that. I don't even need a test study to know that, okay? I'm right on this. While there's a great deal of possibilities for to be able to make sure that your books is safe, there is always an ability to make sure you are safe. Disinfectant, miltweed, and mold books. Mildew or mold has taken a hard hold of your book. The process is likely to be more involved. Books stored in the dark, damp environments, aka a basement, extended period of time, are often suspicious of this issue. Freeze your books. The spot of a telltale growth, white or gray or black spots or fuzz, like mold. First thing you might do is place it in a resealable plastic bag in the freezer for at least 24 hours. Freezing your book, it was always the best way to combat it. Then you disinfect the book. Don't forget to protect yourself. Keep the book dry. That's how you get rid of it. How to get insects out of your book? I didn't even know that. Put them in the freezer. Yeah, just keep putting them in the freezer. Here are all the things you need for it. Ziploc bags, maybe some gloves, and a mask, guys. And don't forget eye protection, because God knows mold likes to shoot into your eye. Yeah, it really tries to go for your eye. And then a dry clean sponge. Yeah, so that's how you're going to keep your books clean, guys. This might have been the nerdiest article I've ever done. But we got some good word jokes out of it, I feel like. I think we did really well. I think I really pulled it together at the end, guys. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But isn't that the great part about this show? I mean, you're listening to it, and it's called Not Worth the Time. It's right there. But you guys came and listened, and I appreciate it. So that's what counts. And, guys, thank you for coming to the show. And if you like this show, you want to head over to punninggame.com where you can find even more stuff like it. Yeah, a catalog of shows just like this one, Who Gives a F, The Empty Parlor, and all the other backlog podcasts we got, guys. So go over to punninggame.com and entertain yourself for hours. And while you're there, don't forget to support us by going to the Punning Game Shop. That's right, the Punning Game Shop is where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, all sorts of cool shit for yourself to help support us and get yourself something cool. We have all sorts of hoodies and t-shirts. I've said that 3 times now, but I guess that's what they say to do in order to get people to buy stuff. And don't forget to use promo code NWTPOD. That's NWTPOD. That gets you free shipping at checkout, guys. And it's a good deal. That's going to help everybody. Helps you, helps me, helps the website. What a great time. Guys, this has been Not Worth the Time. Thank you for listening. We're almost through this month, the first month. We're all killing it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your month. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.